What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today, I want to talk about why I don't envy Joe Douglas right now. I don't want to be in his position because he has a damn near impossible task in front of him as he has to narrow this roster to just 53 guys in the next few days. Specifically looking at the defensive line, I don't know how he's going to do it. Now, granted, some of this has to do with Haason Reddick, and if he is here or not, if he has to go on the roster or not yet, that clearly impacts things. And before we get ahead of ourselves and say, well, you have all these guys that I'm going to talk about in a second, do you really need Haason Reddick? Please, let's not do that. I don't want to have that debate again. We've done it a million times. The Jets are a significantly better team with Haason Reddick on it than without, but once again, the Jets have a very difficult task, specifically on that defensive line, trying to decipher who's going to make it and who's not. And when you look at Takk McKinley, Brady McGregor, and Leonard Taylor, those are three guys who, in my opinion, did enough to make an NFL roster. I just don't know if the Jets are going to have the room for them. Takk McKinley, when looking at, for Brady McGregor and Takk McKinley in particular, I looked at around the league in the preseason of qualified defensive linemen. So you had to play at least 20 snaps in the preseason to be qualified. Takk McKinley is 8th in the NFL in win percentage, 23.3. Brady McGregor is 12th at 22.4. McKinley's pressure percentage is 16.7, which is 3rd in the NFL, and McGregor's at 11.2 is 18th. And by the way, if you're kind of just like, hey, did that convert to any sacks? Yes, it did. McKinley 3, Leonard Taylor 4, McGregor 3. Who makes it? Who can they keep all three guys? I would love for them to keep all three. I really would. Once again, I think all three of them have done enough to make this team. But I don't know if they're going to carry that many because you have who I would classify as locks: Jermaine Johnson, Quinnen Williams, Javon Kinlaw, Will McDonald, Leaky Fotu, Solomon Thomas, and Michael Clemens. That's 7 right there without Haason Reddick. If Haason Reddick's in the mix, McKinley, Taylor, McGregor, that gets you at 11. You're going to carry 11 defensive linemen? That seems kind of nuts. Without Reddick, you could carry just 10, and not just 10. 10's a lot, by the way. McKinley, Taylor, McGregor, and that gets you up to 10. It's tight. It's very tight, especially because there's other areas of the roster where you need guys. It's 53, and it's so easy to say, yeah, this player's done enough. This player's got to make the roster, and then you add it all up, and you're at like 62 guys. You're like, damn it, how am I going to narrow this thing? 9 more guys are going to have to lose their job, and there's a lot of debate with Michael Clemens going around. I mean, he played 15 snaps in the preseason. He was on ice. He was in his carbonite yesterday, didn't dress. 7.7 pressure percentage and 15.4 win percentage in his 15 snaps. Limited sample size, obviously, but the staff loves him. So I don't think it's worth debating whether or not Michael Clemens should be on this roster, because he's going to be on this roster. The staff likes him too much. He's ran way too much with the ones to just suddenly not make the roster here. Do I think it's right that he's likely to make the team over a guy like McKinley, Taylor, McGregor? No, it's going to bother me. I'm not going to lie. If Leonard Taylor ends up getting cut and claimed somewhere, or McGregor or McKinley, it's going to bother me. I'm just being flat out honest with you, but I don't think he is going to get cut. The staff just likes him way too much. That's not the only one, by the way. Going to the offensive side of the ball for a moment, Izzy Abanikanda's kind of been in the doghouse for, like a year, honestly. He got hurt at the end of preseason last year, didn't really play all that much in the regular season, wasn't crazy effective in the regular season either, couldn't get on the field because of pass protection. 2 guys are drafted in Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis. Then Tariq Cohen comes in here trying to win a job on special teams, and he's ahead of Izzy Abanikanda in the pecking order. But Izzy's come in and produce in training camp and the preseason. In the preseason, he has 21 carries for 129 yards, 6.1 yards per carry. He also has 2 touchdowns and is averaging 5.1 yards after contact per attempt. He's been a yards after contact machine. Izzy, yes, not Braylon Allen, who's big and runs everyone over, not Isaiah Davis, who's also big and can run people over. Little Izzy is doing the thing. So he's another one. Probably did enough to prove that he can play in this league. Are they going to carry 4 running backs? They could. I guess they could, but I'm going to say it again. I'm sorry, I sound like a broken record, but if you carry 4, you got to lose someone somewhere else. And I have a hard time going through this roster and getting it to 53. And I think Joe Douglas is going to have the same issues in the next 2 days here. A lot's going to happen in the next couple days. I don't know of this group who makes it and who doesn't. In my prediction, I didn't have Izzy and Abanikanda on it, but then he goes off and has a monster game. And McGregor and McKinley and Leonard Taylor, like, I'd love to keep all those guys. But is it possible? I shrug because I don't know. Don't know. It's going to be very tough for Joe Douglas. So for me, that's the most difficult roster decisions. I want to hear from you. What do you think the most difficult roster decisions Joe Douglas has here in the next couple of days? Sound off in the comments. I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll catch you next time.